I will get back to vlogging. It's just I had a bit of a wobble with vlogging, and then I've not, if you've seen my Facebook and my Instagram, I've just not been well this last week. I'm still on painkillers, but I'm slowly getting better. I'm well enough to speak now. So I'll just do this one, but I will get back on vlogging when I'm better. I'm going to tell you how gypsies, Romanies, travellers are being misrepresented in the fight of the homeschool register, and I'm going to tell you why that's important, not just for gypsies, Romanian travellers, but for everybody who's fighting against this homeschool register. Gypsies and travellers make up a significant number of children being home educated in England for a variety of reasons. I was contacted by a lady who runs a website called Suitable Education. Oh, sorry, screenshot things. She's working with an organisation called Defend Digital Me, which fight for children's rights in educational settings. And they're fighting against the homeschool register and against over-regulating children, protecting their data and things like that. And she contacted me and wanted to know my opinion on the homeschool register, because I am a traveller, and the organisations that the government have contacted about Gypsy Roman travellers with the homeschool register, like the Traveller Movement, what's it called, Friends, Families of Travellers, something like it's called, and ACER, have all been in favour and are saying that travellers are in favour of it. She contacted me. I'm not showing you the whole email. I hope she won't mind me showing you this bit. She put, oh, this is about groups representing Gypsy, Roma and travellers who have given their support for a home education register. Of course, the government's proposals around a home education register are not happening in isolation. There are such a large number of other very concerning measures, not least the Police Crime Sentencing and Courts Act. It is baffling that groups who should be most alive to the risks posed are explicitly calling for GRT families to be put on national databases, which include ethnic monitoring data, and for officials to have rights to demand access to their children in the absence of any specific concerns. Information that we have seen from various parties, including the Children's Commissioner and in the Attendance Action Alliance, makes us concerned that data could be shared with a wide number of partners, including the Home Office and the police. And the current government proposals on tracking children and education. To introduce a children not in school register. To introduce legislation to modernise the rules and recording attendance, which will track attendance in real time, already underway, and enables trust local authorities and the Department for Education to identify concerning patterns more quickly. Introduce unique identifiers for children. The Children's Commissioner has called for the use of unique identifiers for children across police, health services and the education sector. The Health and Care Bill includes the commissioning of a report describing the government's policy in relation to unique identifiers and the sharing of information by or with public authorities or purposes relating to A, children's health or social care, and B, the safeguarding or promotion of welfare of children, right? The Traveller Movement, who are meant to be an organisation for travellers, and I don't rate them, and I know a lot of other travellers who do not rate them, they promote a lot of things that are against our culture, and I think rather than helping travellers have a safe space to be themselves, they'd rather we become like everybody else to be accepted. So I'm not a big fan of them anyway. But the Traveller Movement, who are telling the government that they are in favour of a homeschool register, and I'll just read you the highlighted bits. We would largely support a register or registration for home education children, and with a duty upon local authorities to ensure that adequate safeguarding measures are in place. Ethnic monitoring should be used. Don't agree with that. Registration will also allow safeguarding measures and visits to be put in place for children who are being home educated. So they're in favour of authorities visiting home educated families for no reason to snoop on them. At present, these children are falling through the gaps. Right. ACER, which is, hang on, let me find the ACER, Advisory, oh, I hate it, my phone does that. No. Advisory Council for Education of Romani and Other Travellers, right? And I'll tell you more about them in a minute and why they're naff. Why has it done that? I hate it when phones flip like that. Hang on. I do beg thy pardon. I haven't got a phone. This is my husband's. Right. Where are we? ACERT. Going the wrong way. It's very... ACERT. Broadly, ACERT is in support of placing a duty upon local authorities to assure the quality of home education and that adequate safeguarding occurs, as well as a duty for local authorities to maintain a register of home educated children. Our contention is that ethnic monitoring as well as last school attendance should be included. Will there be a duty on parents and guardians to provide information or on local authorities to find it? There should be a duty on parents for inspectors to see the child rather than just examples of the child's work. So again, like the traveller movement, ACERT is completely in favour of them being able to come into your home at any time and see your children. The suggestion is that the register should be held by local authorities. What if you are nomadic for at least some of the year? Do you need to register with each local authority you stay in, or pick one just as a base? It will be needlessly expensive and time consuming to have a re-register someone of no fixed abode whenever they took a caravan across the borough line. Our suggestion is to either have one local authority which is sufficient for the entire year, or at least have a minimum stay length before your details are meant to be sought for the system. The details themselves could be easily transferred. Blah. Right, that's them. So this is the worrying bit. The government aren't asking the actual ethnic minorities, because if you know anything about Gypsies and Travellers, they are not going to be all for more regulation, monitoring, interference, especially when it comes to their children. Every single traveller I've spoke to and myself are against this, but they are speaking to organisations which are either incredibly misled or completely out of touch with the community they're meant to be representing. And if they're doing that with this particular ethnic minority, they're probably doing it with all the other ethnic minorities, and they're collecting false data, false support on behalf of the people they haven't actually asked to support this homeschool register. So this lady, I put her in touch with Violet Smith, who used to be called Violet Cannon, if you've read her books, who is the CEO of York's Traveller Trust. She was home educated for a while because of all the bullying and prejudice to traveller children in school. And I'll show you that while they're out. She is against the homeschool register. And she is actually a traveller and in touch with travellers. But notice the government didn't actually ask her because she's not giving the response that they'd want. And she said basically that ACERT are idiots. So, this is very important. This is an example of how they are creating files and reports in favour of the homeschool register that aren't genuine. And it also shows you the things they're pushing for. They're not only pushing for a homeschool register, they're pushing to be able to access your child, to monitor them, to visit you whenever they want, all in the name of safeguarding, but we actually know it's control.